Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smackdown on Roundtable Sports, brought to you by BetUS. We have a special edition today. Now, as you all know, if you go across the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel, we have a special show where we bring two creators that are facing off in the wildcard weekend together for an epic debate. You guys in the chat can vote which team you're representing. And as you can tell by the graphic on the screen, we got the Buffalo Bills hosting the Denver Broncos. Very excited for this matchup because the Buffalo Bills, they're red hot. They are one of the better teams in the NFL, but these Denver Broncos get into the playoffs for the first time in a long time. So without further ado, let's do it, baby. Let's get into it. Introducing Dan Mitchell, representing the Buffalo Bills, and Mr. Ben Sports Talk Denver, representing your Broncos. First and foremost, Ben, welcome to Roundtable Sports, my friend.
Ooh, it feels so good to be here and just smash all of Bills Mafia through a table, because that's what Bo Nix and these Denver Broncos are fixing to do. Ooh. Also, Richie, it feels good to just be off of the graphic of longest team without making the playoffs, and now Jets just have that spot.
I'm neutral. I'm not a Jets fan today, Ben.
Okay. He's coming after the host. Listen, I am so happy for Ben because he is very confident in his team. He is very confident in this episode. And I honestly hope you win this debate, because that's going to be the only winning that you are going to experience, especially when Sunday comes around. I love the Broncos story. I really do. I was a massive Bo Nix hater this offseason. I promise you that. I did not anticipate him to be any good in the NFL. However, I was wrong, and I think that this was a fantastic story. I think Broncos fans, I just want to go on ahead and tell you this, that you exceeded expectations. So there is nothing to be ashamed of. There is nothing to hang your head on when Josh Allen hangs sack and puts up 35 points on you Bulls in front of our home crowd on Sunday. Nothing to be ashamed of. You exceeded expectations. There's a bright future, but unfortunately, you were just the unlucky ones that secured the 7th seed this year. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, Ben, I'm sure you want to be on my side in this debate, so I'd assume you leave the Jets jabs for another time, Ben, because I'm the moderator here, all right? So let's get into it. Dan is coming in here hot, right? Ben, he kept it short and simple, had the Bills running through tables immediately, got you, and then Dan went on this long monologue, all right? So already, I'm curious to see who's winning in this debate earlier. Everybody in the chat, let us know who you're representing, the Buffalo Bills or the Denver Broncos.
Zen, like a Baker Mayfield Zen right here? Oh, man.
We got the Zen, everything.
Lock it in, dude.
Dan's getting locked in. Dan's getting locked in. So let's start off with these Denver Broncos, because the Denver Broncos, they got into the playoffs, and they were the last team in the AFC to get that 7th spot, right? There was 3 teams at the end of the season that were fighting for that 7th spot. It was the Cincinnati Bengals, it was the Miami Dolphins, and the Denver Broncos. Now, the good thing for the Broncos was they just needed to win. They controlled their own destiny. And not only did they get in, they dominated their way in. Now, yes, it was against the backups, but we're talking about the 2-time Super Bowl champs, 3-time Super Bowl, but just back-to-back these last 2 years in the Kansas City Chiefs in their house. Bo Nix went out there and put on an absolute clinic. Ben, do you feel like just because, it's the backups and you went in 38-0, does that give the Broncos some momentum heading into this game as you are the heavy underdogs?
Oh, 100%, man. And being 8.5-point underdogs is absolutely redonkulous. Not only do we have the momentum of just mollywhopping the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, it was their backup, but you can only have 53 players on a roster. You can't rest everyone. And we just ran shop on them for sure. And then the game that they beat us earlier in the season, it was the flukiest last-second blocked field goal, 31-yard chip shot field goal. We outplayed them the entire game at Arrowhead. And really, you look at this Denver Broncos squad, we lead the league when it comes to point differential. In our wins, we dominate. And then in our losses, every single loss that we've had this season has been a 1-score game. I know Dan thinks that Josh Allen is an MVP candidate, but that's absolutely ridiculous when Bo Nix has a higher completion percentage. Bo Nix, as a rookie, has thrown for more yards. Bo Nix has more touchdowns. And you're saying he's like,
bro, wait a second.
Don't tell me you're adding Bo Nix in the MVP conversation.
No, I'm saying that this talk that the quarterback difference is such a huge disparity. It's not. Josh Allen is worse than Bo Nix in every statistical category, and I don't think Bo Nix is the MVP. But to think he's this untouchable dude when we beat you last year with a much inferior team, when you had a better team before you lost Micah Hyde, before you lost all your receiving talent, and you're counting on Von Miller to be the second best player on your team. And Von Miller wasn't even that great the last year when he left Denver. So I just feel very good about this game, man.
Wow. So he's immediately going after the front runner to win the MVP, Mr. Josh Allen. Now, Ben, I was going to remind you this, but Dan was humble enough to say it himself. I can tell you, Ben, he was the biggest Bo Nix hater pre-draft. And I believed in Bo Nix. I even said as a Jets fan that I wanted the Jets to draft him, and my Jets community were hating on me heading into the draft. And now here we are. Bo Nix potentially could be Rookie of the Year. We'll see, right? But you're even saying that he should be up against Josh Allen. Now,
no, I'm just saying the difference. It's not that big of a difference. And
well,
if
let's see what the difference is.
Yeah.
Let's see what the difference is. I got it right here. Yeah, I came prepared. So
Trust
Josh Allen,
Dan. Trust the science, Dan. You got to.
Josh Allen. Okay, so Bo Nix has a higher completion percentage, more passing yards, right? More passing touchdowns over Josh Allen. And Josh Allen has less interceptions. Yeah, congrats. He's a rookie. Give me a break, right?
For Bo, multiple of those were in end-of-game situations that were picked off on Hail Marys when the game was over. That shouldn't count against him. When Josh Allen throws an interception, they're like, oh, great interception. That was basically a punt. Bo Nix doesn't get that benefit of the doubt like Josh Allen does. So Bo Nix is not as good as Josh Allen, but it's not that big of a disparity. And that's a cold hard fact. He's got that.
I mean, what I could do if I wanted to bring up the real stats is compare Bo Nix's and Josh Allen's rookie numbers. And I'm sure that one's going to be a little different. Dan, your biggest impressions on Bo Nix, right? Not even just the season, right? Don't even think about what you've seen from him in the past. But what are you expecting in this playoff game? Do you have any fear of a red-hot rookie Bo Nix that's playing free out there coming into Buffalo?
So I'll tell you what, first off, I am going to give Bo Nix his flowers, right? Because I was under the impression watching all of his college tape that he was quite simply a captain check down sort of quarterback. I didn't see it really translating into the NFL, especially with the limited weaponry that they had over in Denver from the very beginning. I was proven wrong. And you know what? I shouldn't have looked down on the Sean Payton's ability of being able to develop a quarterback, especially a young quarterback. He has certainly stepped up at the right times. But I do want to say this. He is also one of the most best rookie quarterbacks when it comes into walking into a perfect situation when it comes into one of the best defenses in the NFL. Like that front seven is absolutely scary. They continuously give him extra possessions, a lot of the times right in his own very territory by itself. So I'm not going to take it away from him. He has been taking advantage of those opportunities that his defense has been giving him. And as far as this matchup for the Buffalo Bills, it's interesting because I was kind of thinking about it. I was just like, okay, how are we going to limit this overall offense, right? Is it Courtland Sutton? Is it some of their receiving game by itself? But when you look at the Buffalo Bills, here's the deal. Our identity all season has been a bend but not break, but lo and behold, we are the number one team in the NFL for turnover differential. We take the football away. It is what it is. And the one struggle that anybody could go out and say is that this Buffalo Bills team typically struggles stopping the run. And the Denver Broncos have been struggling running the football for the past couple of weeks. So
past couple of years, dude, it's been since Latavius Murray, 33 games since we've had that 100-yard rusher.
So I'll tell you what, man, listen, dude, this is the first time where we've actually had a run game since I'd say Obama administration. So it's coming, but I trust our secondary against some of the best wide receivers in the leagues regardless. We have Taron Johnson, one of the best nickel corners in the NFL. We have Christian Benford, who is top 3 in preventing separation from wide receiver number ones. And I know that Bills fans are pissed off at Rasul Douglas for how he ended up playing against the LA Rams a couple of weeks ago, but he's still a solid CB2. And even our safeties, while I wish that they were a tad better, they're still solid. If Denver can't run the football and they have to exclusively put it on Bo Nix to win this game by itself, I think the Buffalo Bills are going to roll the dice at being able to bottle up the run, which is quite simply not dialing up as many single high coverages, cover one, etc. And we are going to exclusively take away all of these sort of receiving weapons right at the end of the day because there's no threat on the ground. Hence why I think that this defense is going to surprise a lot of Bills Mafia on Sunday.
How have you done against mobile quarterbacks? Because that's the one thing that I think Sean has been saving we've seen Bo Nix just be insanely fast and have wheels that no one was expecting. Even Sean Payton didn't expect it, and his ability to just evade the sack and then turn it into some pressure. How do you do against mobile quarterback?
So it's interesting because like we've really only had like 2 opponents so far. Week 1 was Kyler Murray and then Lamar Jackson, obviously, who completely embarrassed us on week 4. Like him and Derrick Henry were going absolutely nuts. But what's interesting about Sean McDermott's defense is that he is probably one of the best baiting head coaches in the NFL. He's a master baiter. All right. Like nobody baits better than the master baiter. Sean McDermott.
You hear how that came out? Like when you,
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
What is he?
I love it. Sean McDermott's a master baiter. He's a master baiter. Okay. He really is. Probably both ways, you know, but
only when he's watching an Al Qaeda film out. Yeah.
So what was interesting about Kyler Murray was that he was absolutely burning us with his legs at the beginning of the game, but then we ultimately ended up bottling it up because what I've seen from this team and what a lot of Bills Mafia Rate My Live game reactions gets pissed off, being like, why the hell are we letting this team march down the field and score at will during the first quarter? And 9 times out of 10, that's because Sean McDermott's trying to understand what your best plays are. He's trying to understand your best pitches, and then he adjusts better than anybody that I have ever seen. So I think Bo Nix is going to get some rushing yards against us. That's for damn sure. But I think it's largely just going to be in the first and the second quarter, and that's when he ultimately ends up making his adjustments and bottles that up as well. I think he's going to give you, right? Like he's going to allow something to happen offensively. It just depends on him picking his poison. Is he going to just open up and like invite you guys to run the football when we know that like you're not too ideal at it? Or are we going to focus on the run exclusively? Probably not. We're going to pick a poison, and we're going to rely on the fact that we trust ourselves into giving Josh Allen 1 or 2 extra possessions off of a turnover. That's basically how I think it's going to play.
I think this game is such a perfect game to kick off wildcard weekend for a lot of different reasons. You got one of the faces of the NFL in Josh Allen, who is the front runner to win the MVP, matched up against a potential future face of the league. I mean, you talk about Bo Nix, his rookie season is just, it pops off the screen. I think Sean Payton, the coaching staff, deserves a lot of credit because we're seeing a lot of these rookies not go out there and play well right away. And obviously we're seeing Daniels and Washington doing the same thing. So Bo Nix versus the veteran Josh Allen is going to be a great, great matchup. We got a super chat we got to get to. Blazing Bolts, a Chargers fan coming in here, rival against your Denver Broncos. I'm hopeful that all 3 AFC wildcard teams win so that the Chargers get to host a playoff game in LA. Bolt up. All right. So the Chargers fan is already looking past the Houston Texans game. I'm sure they're very confident.
They're going to rule the Texans. I think we all wanted the Texans. Yeah.
Well, we'll see the Smackdown. We'll see the Smackdown edition of the Texans and Chargers matchup.
Ruben. I'm sorry, Ruben. But
sorry, Ruben, for watching
Thursday night. So make sure you're subbed to this because that's my man Jake. He does a great job, and he's he'll just
they had their Jake and One Bar did a debate an hour ago of the Vikings versus the Rams. It went well. It went well. Lancelot with the $2 super chat. Bill, the Rams fans won the poll.
Oh, look at that. It's Lancelot C, the sad-ass Bengals fan, all right? Guess what? You're stuck with Zach Taylor because your organization is in shambles and they don't know what to do with talent around them. Keep on manifesting some damn losses, my friend. I'm getting sick of this fucking bullshit, dude. I'm getting sick of you rolling in here. Disrespecting me like that.
Wow.
Disrespecting me like that, bro.
So Lancelot says, Bills will lose by 3. Please be prepared, Bills fans. So what is your response, Ben? Because it seems like there's some people out here that's already picking the Broncos to pull off the upset.
I mean, my first Super Bowl experience, my first falling in love with this team was 1997 as wild cards going into Buffalo and getting a win. Very similar situation. A team, everyone thought the Packers were going to win that Super Bowl. We have been doubted since day one. We're playing with house money. We know that Sean McDermott chokes in the playoffs. He's got this generational talent, and he's 5-5 in the playoffs with him. I think getting out of that Buffalo curse of 4 straight Super Bowls, that's hard to do. They're going to be playing tight. Denver Broncos just beat the AFC West 2-time Super Bowl champ in a row. 38-0. We're playing with house money, nothing to lose. I think the Denver Broncos truly win. Like I said, we have not lost a game other than the Ravens by more than a touchdown all year. We are going to be in this game. And I cannot wait for it. Like the confidence and the vibes in Denver, you can feel it, and it's different, man. It really is.
Wow. So as you see on your screen, folks, this show, all the shows moving forward, is brought to you and powered by BetUS Sportsbook, the #1 online sportsbook on the face of the planet, folks. You use the promo code YouTube150, you get 150% bonus, 125% on your next two. That's up to $2,000. And you go to the odds for this game. I mean, I'm curious. Is this the largest line of the weekend? I think it is.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
Oh, it's
right.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's kind of wild.
Like Baltimore's Dan, do you agree Baltimore's the scariest team in the AFC?
He won't say that.
Who do you think is scarier than them?
His Bills.
Wait, okay. It's not the Bills.
Baby.
I would rather play the Bills.
No. So I would say that it's the Ravens, but I will tell you what, that if I'm a Ravens fan, like the last team that I wanted to play for the first round was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Absolute last team. Like they have shown in history that they match up well. It is a divisional opponent. Yes, they did end up winning the last matchup, but Tomlin, out of the past 11 games, he won like 9 of them in Baltimore as well. So I think this spread is an absolute trap. I'm still picking Baltimore to win this one, as much as I would love the Steelers to pull it off, but there's damn no way. Where is it at? So 10. What's the spread on that game?
10.
10.
Dude,
Russ is so cooked, man. Like I'm just telling.
So
Russ
Dan,
is done.
Dan, let me ask you a quick question. Obviously, you have your Bills winning. Yeah. But would you take the Broncos plus 9.5? Do you think the Broncos
got 9.5? That's disrespectful.
Do you think the Broncos will cover 9.5, or do you have the Bills winning by double figures and blowing them out?
No. I do. So I think the game's going to be like 28-21. I don't see us scoring 30 points. I've seen a couple of people say that we're going to score 30 points. We've scored 39 games already. We're undefeated at home. Like we're an entire different animal over here. But listen, I have all the respect in the world for that defense. And like they have a great pass rush. I think that this is going to be a great, like battle-tested sort of matchup because they're going up against a top 5 offensive line. And Josh Allen is the least sacked quarterback in the NFL due to the protection and due to his ability to run outside of the pocket. But that Broncos team is very good at preventing QBs from rolling out right from the very beginning. So I think that Denver is going to present its share of challenges, but just due to home field advantage, just due to how insane that crowd is going to be, I know that we're coming out completely healthy at the end of the day. I think that we end up tuning it up, but it's going to be like a 28-21 type game. It's not going to be a blowout.
What's Amari Cooper's status? Last I checked, he's still away from the team.
Yeah. Most definitely. He has some sort of personal emergency from what I understand. It has to do with his family. So we're certainly hoping that he will be able to be out there. We'll see if he reports today. But as much as I love Amari Cooper, man, like soon as when we ended up trading for him, it took him about 2 games to even get familiar with the playbook where he was out for like 20% of the snaps. Then was hurt for like 3 or 4 games. And then afterwards, like there was 1 or 2 games where he had 1 target, 2 targets. The biggest matchups I'm looking for, like I'm looking at this defense right now specifically, and like I would probably like be afraid as far as, so the receiving weapons that you should be looking out for is Shakir out of the slot, Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, tight end sucks for us.
Yeah, I probably think Dalton Kincaid is probably going to have a game. He's probably going to be like targeted like regularly. Same thing with Shakir, and then also I see James Cook getting involved. Although that like y'all have a great run defense, but
I feel very good about our rush defense. Like in the game, even when we got boat raced by Baltimore, we held Derrick Henry to 22 yards in that first half. We've stopped everyone, whether it's Jonathan Taylor, like nobody's run on us. The thing that scares me is we've had a lot of running backs kill us on the wheel route, and giving flowers back to Josh Allen. First off, his college was 45 minutes from the Broncos facility, and John Elway's biggest mistake ever was not drafting Josh Allen. Everyone was saying it, dude. Like we got Bradley Chubb because John Elway had drafted Paxton Lynch, who flamed out because he played more Madden than he actually watched film. And because of that, he was like, I can't get another tall quarterback. So that was a mistake. Finally, like we're off that quarterback carousel, and I'm not too hurt about it. Nice. But we went to a darkness retreat, and we're like a real enigma, and we're good now.
Wow, look at that.
Sorry, Richie, but I think Josh Allen doesn't have a lot of targets, dude. And
now you got Bo Nix, dude. You don't got to worry about no Josh Allen. Bo Nix is on pace to be better, right? Lino TV with a super chat. Tell them sorry, Denver fan. Put money where they money is, and we playing in Buffalo where we undefeated at. Response to Lino TV, Ben.
We undefeated in Buffalo, baby.
Undefeated in Buffalo.
Lino TV, respectfully. When you look like you could beat me up in a fight, probably. So respectfully, what happened the last time the Denver Broncos with a far inferior team, and you had a far better team, and it was a must-win game, and y'all did a players-only meeting led by Von Miller last year, and the Denver Broncos went into Buffalo and destroyed you. Like, weirdest bounces the balls I've ever seen. When Cook fumbled at the 50-yard line, it was like he was dribbling a basketball, and it still came up and he caught it in his hand. Like, I've never seen the ball bounce so unfavorably. And the Broncos beat you with a quarterback that Sean Payton is paying $90 million to go play on another team, the biggest NFL dead cap in the history of the league. We have a better team now, and we beat you last year when you were better. So we've gotten better. You've gotten worse. It's going to happen, bro.
Wow. So, Ben, you're really confident coming into this game. So now I want you to list some key reasons how.
So I have to respond to that for a second.
Go for it, Dan.
Trust the
So I have to respond to that. First off, that was the narrative surrounding the Buffalo Bills all off season, that we were going to be significantly worse because Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Micah Hyde, Poyer were completely gone. Well, I will tell you what. So we are a 13-win team. And then also we are currently top 5 offense in NFL history when it comes into EPA per play. We average 3 points per drive when it comes into it. Yes, I remember that Denver Broncos game like it was yesterday. I still am pissed off about the way too many men on the field type shit. However, I always like reminding people that that was when Ken Dorsey, the absolute worst person to ever don an offensive coordinator position ever, was at the helm. He's been fired from 2 offensive coordinator positions in the past 15 months. Cleveland just ended up letting him gone, and it's the Joe Brady show. Now we have a fully healthy defense. I promise you that you are not going to be seeing the exact same team that you saw last year. This is definitely something you will be
DF
seeing.
Forever has a response. Bills fan, that game you won, 6 defensive starters were out.
Oh, Dwayne.
Yeah, and I guess we were coming off our bye, and we were still shooting for the playoffs. So I get that, but I just think this is a night and day different Broncos team than that, and maybe I'm too confident than I should be.
We have a lot of respect for the Broncos. Like, they did make the playoffs, and they completely exceeded expectations. We didn't think that they were going to be here. We thought they were going to be worse, but they weren't. So, yes, I do agree with you that this is a better Broncos team, but this is a historic Buffalo Bills team.
And there's always that team in the wild card every year that no one expects that somehow pulls off the upset. And I don't think there's ever been a 7 seed since they expanded the playoffs to win their wild card round. So, Ben, how can the Broncos do this? Can they be the first one to do it? Give me some keys to victory. I want you to answer this question. Number 1, how do you neutralize Josh Allen as a defense? You know, Vance Joseph is a phenomenal defensive mind. Your defense is top tier. And number 2, how do you think Bo Nix matches up against the Bills' defense? Give me some keys on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, stopping Josh Allen, I think it's what Vance Joseph did the last time we played him, which was send him pressure from everywhere and not let him know where the pressure is coming from. The crazy thing is it had been since 2019 since we'd had a single player who had a 10-sack season. And at one point in the season, we thought we were going to have 4 guys. And the way it broke, we only ended up having 2 get that 10 mark. But we can create pressure up the middle with Zach Allen. We can create pressure on both sides of Jonathan Cooper and, one of the sack leaders, Nick Bonito. And then we're getting Drew Sanders back healthy. And every snap he's been on, he tore his Achilles in the offseason and came back for that Chargers game. And the only snap he was in on, he created a sack from that inside linebacker position. So I think it's just like send him a bunch of different looks. We have an incredible secondary. Like we got Riley Moss, the Great White Hope, just an incredible CB2 who I trust to lock down anyone. And then we have the defensive player of the year and Pat Surtain. So defensively, I feel really good. And I think you got to keep Josh Allen guessing where the pressure is coming from and hope he gets back to where he used to be, like turning the ball over. That's been the thing that has sucked so much this year. Wanting them to lose is like he just hasn't turned the ball over like he used to, and you just kind of hope that that tendency is still there. I do think the Broncos on the other side, I think Sean Payton is fixing to have a day, man. Like he is in his bag. He has found that joker spot that he wants. We got this cat, Marvin Mims, who had a couple 100-yard receiving days with Russell Wilson, and then we never figured out how to use him. And we're talking 2 games in a row where he's had 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards, using him, lining him up in the backfield, like using him in the run game and in the pass game. And I think Bo Nix has all the confidence in the world. I'd love to see us get the run game going, but hearing how Buffalo plays against the run, that'll be tougher. You just got to trust Bo. What's the weather looking like there? When I looked, it looked like 30.
30 degrees and sunny at 1 o'clock, 25% chance of precipitation. So the weather may not be too much of a factor because the Denver Broncos are used to some chilly weathers. Lino, $5. Bro, you have been drinking. We better than last year. What are you talking about?
Bro, you are lucky you look stronger than me, because I'd fight you. If I had any chance, Lino, I would fight you.
Lino, thank you for the $5, man. Really do appreciate that, bro.
Ben's a good
guy. You're getting Ben riled up. He's ready to fight you. Dan,
I love it.
What are your keys to go after those Denver Broncos, right? Like, what are some things that you feel like the Buffalo Bills need to focus on in order to get this W that you're favored to win?
So I think it comes into matchups. Specifically, I want to talk about this defense because if there is a world where Denver could potentially win this game, it's going to be based off of their defense. However, there are some matchups that I'm really intrigued with that I think that we need to take advantage of as soon as possible from the very beginning of the game. And I'm talking about their inside linebackers, Cody Barton, and I'm also talking about Justin Stranad as well. I honestly think that Dalton Kincaid and Khalil Shakir specifically will be able to have a field day in the short middle of the field. As long as we're creating yards after the catch, solid slant routes right up the middle, I think that we can literally buy real estate right within that area, and that's what we need to take. I'm hoping that Amari Cooper is healthy because PS2, all right, like Ben said, he's the defensive player of the year. He's a solid corner. I would love Amari Cooper to be out there for a distraction, because with Amari Cooper being out there, that is a distraction that is going to allow players like Khalil Shakir, like Matt Collins, like Keon Coleman, same thing. So with Kincaid, with Dawson Knox, the whole 9. So to really go ahead and do that. So pick on those inside linebackers. That is going to be our number 1 offensive strategy that I am looking at for right now. Running the football, I know that they have a wonderful run defense, but I still don't want to completely give up on it. Establishing play action is going to be key, and Josh Allen shouldn't be afraid to make plays with his legs. As far as the defense is concerned against this overall offense, I really want to make sure that we just focus exclusively on slowing down Mims, on slowing down Sutton, and then also their slot receiver in Vell. I love Taron Johnson against Vell. I don't think he's going to win many matchups against Taron Johnson. I love Christian Benford against Mims, and Rasul Douglas against Sutton is probably going to be more favorable for the Denver Broncos. But if we can take away those 3, and we've already established that they're having a hard time running the football, I think this defense that all of Bills Mafia has been clowning and has been very upset with, I think that we're going to walk away with a deeper appreciation of what we're going to do. And I love Bo Nix. He's the absolute man. Okay. He has definitely exceeded my expectations, as well as I'm sure he's exceeded all of Denver Broncos fans' expectations. But remember, he's a rookie quarterback, and Sean McDermott is the nightmare to every single rookie quarterback that he plays. So I think Sean McDermott's going to be in his bag, and I think Mr. Nix is going to have a difficult game.
Wow. Your point on your offense exploiting the tight end, you are 1,000% on there. And I just hope if Amari's not on, what you'll actually see is we'll put Pat Surtain on your tight end, because that's.
So does he travel, or is he on an island?
Yeah,
okay,
he'll go with your best receiver. So that, I mean, if he left, that would be, if he wasn't there, that'd be great, because like we saw, even with the Raiders, they only had one option, and that was Brock Bowers. And so eventually we just put Pat Surtain on their tight end, and we've done horribly against tight ends, like talking back before Aaron Hernandez even murdered those dudes. Like we've never been good at stopping the tight end. And inside linebacker, or was a position we were worried about going into the season, and then we lost Alex Singleton during that Jets game towards ACL. So it's a depleted position. We've got to figure out something there, and so that's my key too, for sure, is like Vance Joseph finding a way to disguise stuff so that we don't let the tight ends just ruin this game for us.
Jack C with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Jack. Not to be that guy, but ESPN gives the Broncos about 32% of a win. Even if it's close, people act like it's a guaranteed Bills win. All right, so that's you're not getting a lot of love here, and that's expected. I mean, what team that's the 7th seed going up against the number 2 seed is ever going to be favored or expected to win? Upsets happen, right? Upsets do happen. And I want to ask Dan, you got to be real with me here, Dan.
Yeah.
If the Denver Broncos do hypothetically pull off the upset, right? What are the things that you're afraid of? When, right? Like, if you're, as a Bills fan, you look at the Broncos, what are you afraid of? Like, what part of the Broncos where you feel like, wait, man, like, they may have the advantage here or there, that you feel like, man, if these go in the Broncos' way, they actually could win this game?
So I'm trying to say this as respectfully as humanly possible.
I try.
All right. So there are 2 outcomes of this game. So the Buffalo Bills win this game, or the Buffalo Bills beat themselves and lose this game. That is the only way that Buffalo loses this game, is if they go out there and they have a repeat of how they played the Cincinnati Bengals a couple of years ago, where it seemed like the guys like didn't even want to be there. They didn't get off of the bus. I'm talking sloppy, complimentary football. And that's been something that Buffalo has actually done very well this year, something that they haven't done well in a very long time. Like, we are looking at a well-oiled machine. So when it comes into the offensive line, like, they are absolutely firing. We have a fully healthy squad, like, for the first time in God knows how long. As long as Josh Allen just doesn't revert back to what he was in 2023, which is unlikely because statistically he is one of the best playoff quarterbacks breathing right now that's in the NFL. We just have to play mistake-free football. And, like, we need to be able to take advantage of the fact that Bo Nix is indeed a rookie, and we need to take the football away like we do each and every single game outside of one already this season, and give Josh Allen as many opportunities as humanly possible. Again, I say this as respectfully as humanly possible. It's just the Buffalo Bills win, or the Buffalo Bills ultimately end up beating themselves. But I don't see it, especially not at home.
You don't think there's any pressure with all the past trauma of Bills losses that they don't feel that, dude?
See, I'll tell you what, man, like, you like walk into a game, into a playoff game, and there's always a sense of anxiety of regardless of who you play, because you are literally just one loss away from booking a trip to Cancun, as the kids say these days. You know what I mean?
As the Jets players say every year.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
now
you're
don't
joining the
you're
Jets,
sparking my Jets.
and joining the Jets in Cancun would certainly be a fear.
It's your
right
first
there.
time in
But,
how
like,
long, Ben? Sorry, I forgot. I'm the host. I'm not a Jets
all
fan.
right, so to give you a better answer, if we were to lose to the Denver Broncos, so it would have nothing to do with Bo Nix. So it would have nothing to do offensively. It would be exclusively your defensive performance. Like, I'm talking about like 2 or 3 turnovers, multiple sacks on Josh Allen, who is the least sacked quarterback in the league. I'm talking James Cook fumbles. I'm talking picks. I'm talking everything just going wrong for the offense, like having the perfect defensive game plan afterwards. If the Broncos win, it's going to be entirely because of their defense.
Now, if you don't mind me getting in the middle of you two here, sorry to break up the fun. Ben, now, we've seen some narratives around the Buffalo Bills, I would say, in the final 6 weeks of the regular season, was their defense could be their Achilles heel in the playoffs, right? And you got a scorching hot Bo Nix and an offensive-minded head coach in Sean Payton. Do you see a world where Dan's wrong and the Broncos could win by your offense, by Bo Nix going off, and you go off on that Buffalo Bills defense? Do you see a world where that's possible? Because Dan thinks the only chance you have in winning is if your defense carries you.
100% I do, man. Like, we went in and put up 31 points, Bo Nix's 4th game in Tampa, East Coast road game, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Like, we've done he equaled John Elway his rookie year. Like, dude, I'm telling you guys, Bo Nix is legit. And yeah, he dropped 38 points on backups, but I think there's only 2 starters from that Super Bowl team missing in that Kansas City game. Like, we're gonna put up a ton of points. Are we gonna be able to go? He's gone toe to toe with Joe Burrow, and it took overtime to beat us or to lose to the Bengals, a heartbreaker. But he's gone toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes and lost on a blocked field goal, toe to toe with Joe Burrow. He's going to be in this game. He's going to put up points. And while he is a rookie, he does have one of the offensive geniuses in my mind. We traded a first and a second round pick for him. And he took the New Orleans Saints, who were the biggest joke in the NFL, and took him to a Super Bowl. So I think he's a better coach than McDermott. And he's one of the older, Bo Nix is one of the older rookies with a fantastic coach with all the Bo Leaf in the world.
Bo Leaf.
Dan,
So
how are we going to make this interesting? What's the bet, dude? Like, what are we going to do to settle this thing?
What's the bet?
Yeah, we got to have a bet.
Put something on the line, huh?
Like something like a tattoo or something.
Tell you what, Ben, I'm pretty sure that betting me is a jinx because I have won every single bet on Roundtable Sports Network history for the past 5 years.
Well, that's also because he bets in the AFC East, and the Bills, unfortunately, have only the AFC East. I don't think you've made a bet outside the division, Dan, have you?
Have I not? Yeah.
That's a different animal.
No, listen, listen, I am open to it. So what do you think? What are the stakes?
Like, I'm thinking like something you got to.
What about doing something live? Whether it's eating something gross, taking a shot of something.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, we can DM about it, agree to it, and then throw it on
we'll
Roundtable.
Figure it out, and like I'll have you on my channel like sometime later this week.
Yep.
And like we'll decide about it, and like we'll figure it out.
We should do that, honestly. It's a little too late to the party now.
Yeah,
we should think of a bet that's universal across the network. The losers of the wild card weekend have to all go on a show.
Oh, that'd be
do
sick,
something,
dude.
And then the winners are there to watch them. Like, haha, that would be freaking cool. And luckily, I'm not even in the playoffs, so I'm safe. Oh, this playoff sucks for you guys. This is more on the line for you guys. Damn.
All right. So, like, what we can do,
the gears are turning,
is say the Broncos win for an entire week, and so I will wear a Broncos jersey for all of the content that I put out.
Dude,
and
I
if
love
the Bills win, then you need to wear a Bills jersey for your next 5 videos.
Oh, that hurts me.
It
but
does.
I do it. I'm telling you. I feel extremely good about this. I really.
Well, how are you going to get the jersey in time, though? Because you have to order it. It's not going to be there for a week or 2.
So there's got to be a lids around his area.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think they're selling Bills jerseys around your
area.
area.
You'll be able to find it.
Yeah,
like any Goodwill. I mean,
well, there you go.
My God.
Just like rags for like washing your car and stuff.
Dan's getting a Denver Broncos shirt on, or Ben's getting a Bills shirt on. I love it. Lino comes back at Ben. LOL, yo. Who Denver man is this? We smacking y'all. P.S. You damn Skippy. I can kick your ass. LOL.
Really
Go Bills.
Lino,
get his picture off, dude. It's freaking me out.
Yeah.
So strong, dude.
Lino, dude.
His pecs just jump off.
Don't
gotta get some creatine.
Hey man, he comes out here. He's a Bills fan, and I have to deal with him every day on my show, man. I gotta be honest.
He's mad.
All right, so I want to get some X factors. All right, Ben, give me someone on the Broncos that not even Bills fans know about, that you feel like has a chance to make a big impact in this football game to win this game. Someone that no one knows about, an unsung hero, an X factor under the radar.
Yeah, so to get this Broncos team to the Super Bowl, you're going to need to have like a Von Miller type upswing. Like Von Miller going into that Super Bowl run, essentially, like he made a couple Pro Bowls, but he like ultimately becomes a Hall of Famer by ending Cam Newton's career, beating Tom Brady, beating Patrick Mahomes, that was before Mahomes, but like going on just a tear. So we need that from, I think it's going to be Nick Bonito, and nobody really talks about him. You hear a lot of Broncos who played with Vaughn say that Nick Bonito kind of reminds them of Vaughn. He's had a couple sick play, several pick six and then a fumble for 70 yards against the Colts. I think he's going to wreak havoc. I know the Bills have a very tough offensive line, but I think he's going to be there. So I think him going off. And then Sean Payton has talked up this rookie class like an insane amount and said that it's better than the rookie class he got that turned around the New Orleans Saints that had Kamara and all those cats in it. And so we got this 7th round wide receiver named Devon Vele out of Utah, and his RAS score is the exact same RAS score as Marcus Colston, and he just catches everything that goes his way. He's kind of Cortland Sutton-ish. He's been Bo Nix's favorite target at times. So watch for him. And then I think Audric Estime, man, the rookie running back we got out of Notre Dame. He looks kind of like that guy who keeps super chatting us, like just swole out of his mind. And I mean, averaging 7 yards a carry, dude. So I think if we get the running game going, it'll be him.
Well, I'm really happy you mentioned Nick Bonito because every time I watch a Broncos game, he's flashing on the screen. And even we do a daily show, Ben, me, TD, and Dan, and we talk all NFL. And whenever the Broncos get brought up, I actually highlight him. I'm like, dude, this kid for the Denver Broncos, he's
Bonito's
more than
the
just
man.
an edge rusher, bro.
He's the
He
man.
can get into – I see him dropping back in coverage, making plays on receivers, picking up loose balls, pick six. I mean, he is absolutely everywhere. So watch out for him in this game for sure. And also, a big storyline in this game is the Von Miller revenge game, right? You saw him put out that meme. And I think a big reason for it, too, is, you know, the last time the Denver Broncos were good was when Von Miller was
the
there.
last time we made the playoffs was Von Miller MVP, and now we're back. So that's
Going
why
up
he
against
put
them.
out full circle.
Exactly.
He said he's always a Bronco, dude. So I think he'd be happy if the Broncos win.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
fact.
win-win for him.
Yeah.
Todd Tobin says, who's more delusional around here? Ben, who thinks Nick's better than Allen, or TD, who is, well, TD. TD's awesome, by the way. Broncos are coming in wild, but going home broke and lame. Wow, Todd, thank you for the $10. Ben, any response to Todd?
Dude, I mean, if you think Tua is a NFL quarterback, you are definitely more delusional than I am. Yeah, for
So that's
sure it's
TD.
TD. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That is 1,010% TD.
Horrible question. But thanks for the
Can
time.
we do it? Can we? Everybody, do us a favor. Hit that like button right now,
Hit it.
everybody. Please do us a favor and
Smack it.
smash the like button. We really do appreciate
Yeah.
each and every single one of you all that is tuning in, man, to the show. This has been Smackdown, brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook. The poll is, I'm gonna have to close the poll now. All right, get your last votes in, and
Dude, if I don't win, this is
the
gonna be like
Buffalo
January
Bills.
6th. Oh god.
The Buffalo
storming the
Bills.
Capitol, dude.
It's going to be January 6th.
I'm storming the freaking
The
Capitol.
Buffalo
I
Bills
don't
win the
certify.
poll. Oh, I'm sorry, Ben. You lost the poll. Don't forget about Riley Moss, says one only mall 2.
100%, dude. Yep.
Don't forget about Riley Moss.
Great white
All right,
hope,
so, like,
man.
So
Well-
here's my deal about the X factor, and then I'll keep it brief. Obviously, is that it's not even necessarily a player, because we're looking at an offensive coordinator like Joe Brady that was this close into breaking the all-time record into throwing a touchdown pass to a different skill position player across the entire NFL. All season long, I have been doing my previews and prediction videos, and I've always tried to pick an X factor of the game. I've always tried to say that it was Amari Cooper. I always said that it was going to be Keon Coleman. I always said that it was going to be Shakir. The problem is that you don't know who is going to be the X factor for the Buffalo Bills. Largely why I think defenses, even good defenses, have a hard time preparing for us, because you don't know like who is going to be Josh Allen's favorite target at any given moment. I remember a damn game against the damn Detroit Lions where RB3 Ty Johnson had 120 receiving yards, like at the end of the day. It's, you don't know. And like when you look at this overall roster, not a single receiver has over 1,000 yards. It just goes to show you how much he spreads the ball around. It could be Mac Hollins who goes out there and gets 100+ yards. Could be Shakir. It could be Dawson Knox, Kincaid. That's what makes
Is there
this
anybody on
Buffalo Bills-
defense?
That's what makes this Buffalo Bills offense so dangerous, is that like they don't know who that X factor is going to be. So I don't know. That's my thing, man.
Interesting.
X factor
It's,
is Joe Brady in his bag. He's interviewing for head coaching positions, so you know that he's going to go out there doing some.
Yeah,
some
I got.
nasty-
Listen, the Jets are interviewing both of your coaches to be their next head coach. We got Vance Joseph coming in for an interview. We got Joe Brady coming in for an interview. So I cannot wait to see the Buffalo Bills' high-powered offense going up against the star-studded Denver Broncos defense in this game. It's going to be awesome. Let's get the final score predictions, and everybody in the chat, please feel free. Let us know your final score predictions, and also don't forget to check us out on this channel, Roundtable Sports. We have a show, Wake Up and Ball, every single morning, talking all things sports at 8:30 a.m. EST with me and TD Finns Talk. We have a Smackdown show that's going to be previewing every single game across Wildcard Weekend here on the Roundtable Sports channel. So don't forget to subscribe. We actually just hit 19K subs tonight.
Yes.
19K subs.
Yes.
Let's freaking go, man. We love it. Hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes before we get out of here, folks. And spam the score predictions in the chat. Ben, What is your final score prediction for this one?
The Denver Broncos win 31-28. And we are on to the Kansas City Chiefs, baby.
Oh.
31-28. Damn, that's a thriller
So
right there. Dan.
Field goal is what you're predicting.
Yep.
So a game-winning field goal from the
Too
Denver
many men on the
Broncos.
field. We get 2 goes at it. Very
Holy hell.
reminiscent.
I would
You'll remember that.
decapitate Bob over there if that really happened that way. There would be, like an epic crash out would happen on my live play-by-play reaction if that happened. I have the Buffalo Bills winning 28-21. I do see it being close. I don't see us like absolutely scorched earth like down there right on that defense. I have a lot of respect for that defense, but I'm just going to have to go with home field advantage at this point. And I think that since the Buffalo Bills have won the AFC East more than a month ago, we haven't seen anything from what this team is truly planning on putting out there. So if you're trying to look at what sort of offensive game plan that we're planning on putting together, I'd probably look at the Detroit Lions game and I'd probably look at the Rams game. That's probably going to be more of a better set of expectations, if you will.
Well,
But
this game kicks off at 1 p.m. EST on Sunday. I'm going to be live on this channel doing a live play-by-play reaction, potentially with TD Finns Talk. Dan's going to be doing his. Ben, what's your plans for the game?
Dude,
Who
I
you watching
don't
it
know
with?
how you guys do live. I got to watch it with my son, man. I can't get into I get way too into
hear
it,
you.
bro. Yeah.
I hear you,
Oh,
man.
trust me. I hear you. Well,
I hear you.
we can't wait for it.
too.
Everybody go check out Ben's YouTube channel, Sports Talk Denver, and check out the AFC West Roundtable, which is actually live in 10
Right
minutes.
after this, man. And we
So
got
Ben's gotta
3
go.
deep in there, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah,
3
so go
AFC
check out
West
Ben
teams.
on the AFC West Roundtable. There's 3 playoff teams in that division. So the episode tonight on the AFC West Roundtable is going to be freaking epic. So appreciate everybody that's been tuning into this channel. Hit that like button on your way out. We really, really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys that's been tuning in to this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Good luck to you, Ben. Good luck to you, Dan. We'll
And
see you next time.
Believe.
Thank you, sir. Go
Go
Bills.
leave, he says. Hey, shout out to Bet